Hi all, welcome back to Schmorgen Nordenland, where measurement units are a little strange. So, this is from last week's quiz. I have posted the key in the week 7 module, but since I couldn't find the video where we were talking about this in class, and there was a request to be able to kind of look back and view that video again, I'm just going to make a new one. So, just to kind of refresh, we were given a set of conversions, and these conversions were meant to help us take measurements that were in square squib squabs and convert them to square squib hoppity hops. And the reason that I brought us into this like really weird context was because when we're familiar with the units, right, we can kind of do the conversions without really thinking about why we're doing what we're doing. And when we're in this strange context, we're forced to really think about that. So that's why I'm having us do it this way. Before we go into the actual solution, I want to talk a little bit more about the mistake that a lot of people made. Just because I'm not sure it was really clear as to why that was, considered a mistake. But when we're taking the area, right, like if we have this rectangle and we're trying to find the area, and our units are, so we have some number, right, and in this case, the units of our lengths would have been squib squabs, right? So we had some number of squib squabs for the length and some number of squib squabs for the height, or the width. Sorry, the width. And so when we multiplied those to find the area, that was where this 361.25 square squib squabs came from. So we can kind of think about this square squib squabs as like squib squab times squib squab. And then if we're doing the conversions, and this is kind of where the mistake comes in, when we were doing the conversions, a lot of folks recognized correctly that the first step would be to take the squib squabs, the square squib squabs, and convert them to square squib mops. Using the fact that 8 squib mops is equivalent to 2 squib squabs. But if we only do that multiplication once, we're only canceling out one of the squib squabs, right? We still have this other squib squab. And so, like, a lot of folks just kind of moved on from here and started converting the squib mops into squib loops, right? But leaving that squib squab messed up the calculation. And this is where we're going to start working towards the solution. To address that other squib squab, there's a couple ways we can go about this. One way is just to do the calculation again, right? And this would cancel out the other squib squab, and then we could keep going. We'll switch to green. So we said our next step was to take our next step is to convert the squib mops to squib loops. And so we have 2 squib mops, so we're going to have to do that conversion twice. So this would become 5 squib loops for every 10 squib mops. Oops. And now we've canceled out both squib mops. And we're not quite there, right? We didn't want square squib loops. We wanted square squib hoppity hops. So we're going to use the fact that 17 squib loops is equivalent to 3 squib hoppity hops. And again, we're going to do the calculation twice. So I'm going to switch to black. So the next set of multiplication, we need to cancel out those squib loops. So we had 3 squib hoppity hops for every 17 squib loops. Sweet, now we see these canceling out, both of the squib loops, and the only thing that's left to do is the actual multiplication. So we have times 8 over 2, we did that twice. Then we multiplied by 5 over 10 twice. Then we multiplied by 3 over 17 twice. Right, and if you want, you can think about this as like 361.25 over 1, and when we multiply fractions, we multiply straight across. So the product, and again, right, the super important piece is that we had square squib hoppity hops. And so if we multiply everything in the numerator, right, over multiplying everything in the denominator, it actually turns out to be a nice number. "45 square squib hoppity hops." The other way to go about this is instead of doing it in like 2 separate steps each time, is to do it in 1 step. And so what I saw on the quiz that seemed helpful for folks was before they started doing that, they kind of created like a new set of conversions based on the given set. And what I mean by that is since we have square units and we're trying to get to another set of square units, they took each of these conversions and they squared the numbers, right? So if we know that 2 squib squabs is equivalent to 8 squib mops, then we know that 4 square squib squabs is equivalent to 64 square squib mops. And they did this for each set. And then when they did their conversions, it looked pretty similar, right? So they would have started with 361.25 square squib squabs. And instead of doing it in 2 steps, they would have used their new set. So we know that 4 square squib squabs is 64 square squib mops. So this would have been, oh dang it, sorry about that. This would have been 64 square squib mops over 4 square squib squabs. And they would have done this for each one of them. And the answer would be the same. Oop, yeah, that's right. So no matter how you do it, right, we can use kind of different methods or different looking methods, but your answer should still be the same. And hopefully that kind of clears up, because I kept saying, oh, like you need to do it twice. And then the question came up was like, do what twice? And so I hope this was kind of a little bit more clear of an explanation. But if you do have questions, for sure reach out and ask, and I'll be happy to reply. But otherwise, that's it.